type of law. It's just that I don't have the writing thing. But anyway, this is how I usually demonstrate it with writing. 2 circles, right? This is the European customary law, this is the African customary law. And we must get to a point where we mix them together. And this little hole in the middle is what is going to constitute South African law. At this point, we're not there. So we need to utilize the Constitution to arrive at a point of the middle ground, where it's EA, so a mixture of European, African law, if one would like. And I am of the belief that we'll be tattering into a territory that we haven't done as yet. And you are the faces of it. And ladies and gentlemen, on this point of the Constitution, I would like to rest it there. 5 minutes for ethics. You guys are honest people, right? I would like to imagine. Guys, I serve in the Ethics Commission. We do see things that are not palatable. We do see things that makes the public lose confidence in the magistracy, in how we conduct ourselves, in how we do our judgments. Let me make a few illustrations. If your friend is going to appear, and everyone else, your colleagues know that is your friend who's going to appear before you, please don't hear that matter. Get someone else to do it. It doesn't matter how objective you are. It doesn't matter how the judgment is. The fact is they were your friends. The other party who you made a judgment against is going to come and complain to us and say, yeah, he got the ruling because So please, do not. I'm just making a few examples that they seem slightly minor, but they're not. We will charge you in terms of Rule 26. And that is misconduct, ladies and gentlemen. And it is have you ever been accused of something you've never done? Long time ago when you were a child and someone lies about you, and then you're like, no, I didn't do it. And you cry like, if you didn't do it, why are you crying? It's because of the hurt and the betrayal of something you didn't do, and someone is accusing you of having done it, right? So, even if your heart is in the right position, don't do something that will cast aspersions. Hey, this word flies around in Parliament. Yeah. Do not make aspersions against an honorable member. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how, the thing is I don't want to get to real life events of what you guys get up to. If someone wants to offer you a bottle of wine, perhaps do the entire case and finish. Make the judgment and then tell that person, give it to Mr. Mbani first. Then perhaps I'll take it from Mr. Mbani. Stay away from things that will make you look bad. It is not so much that you have done it, it's the perception of other people thinking you're doing it. Because I trust that you guys are honest human beings, that's why I'm telling you the way that it is. Make sure you move away from things that will cast aspersions upon your good name. Make sure you're collegial. These are some of the problems that we find. Communication goes a long way. Today is the day of love, right? Most of us know who are in relationships, how the communications is important. The same way with your colleagues. Some of the things that we hear, it's not because someone is incompetent as far as their work is concerned. It's because they have bad working relationships with their colleagues. And therefore, the minute you knock on the door one day, and he came and banged my door. Once it is knocked, and then we hear that particular investigation, your name is going to be there. When you apply the Judicial Service Commission, it's not going to care whether it was a bang or a knock. The fact is your name appeared before us at one particular point, and you're going to have to explain yourself as to why your name was at the Magistrate Commission. So simple things like that. Final thing, as far as your conduct is concerned, at all material times, if you think you're not ready for civil section, communicate with your line manager, tell them that I need further skills on this particular part, Dr. G will sort you out. If you think you're not ready for criminal section, do the same thing. It is better to have tried and said, I wanted to go on this particular course, than to sit, write a very bad judgment, and confuse legal principles, and then someone says we're incompetent. And now we have to speak with the minister whether we should declare you incapacitated due to your incompetence. It can't be, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm saying is open up the space so that you can work together and you can upskill yourself in order to be effective magistrates. Are we clear? So, public opinions. If anything that I've heard from practitioners, from normal people of the public, is somewhat our behavior, our demeanor, how we conduct ourselves in public. By public, I don't mean in the mall, I mean within the vicinity of the court system. Try to be understanding of people who are around your courtroom. Try to find out what they want. Don't be, how can I put it? Just don't be dismissive and be in yourself, like, no, I don't care, I don't want to hear about this, just try to speak with people in a way that when they go back, they'll say, I know Magistrate Van der Merwe, and he's a good magistrate, irrespective of what the outcome was. So we need to have that care for the public, and also to be seen to be caring, because this is the other complaint about the members of the public, where I've once attended a court session, I won't tell you where, and it was like what people say kangaroo court. There was no procedure there. People were just exchanging documents for no apparent reason. The prosecutor and the defense, someone is at the corner there negotiating behind. And now this I was watching, I had taken students. It's in Durban, it's not none of you there. It was in Durban a couple of years ago, ladies and gentlemen. I had taken students to a tour of the magistrate court, and I got up and thinking, this kid will possibly not even do law. If that's the type of people that they see, why would they want to be in a profession such as this? Final, I promise you this is the final.
Remember, I still have some before the JP.
Oh yeah, no? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Guys, have a good working relationship with the attorneys that appear before you and the prosecutors. Some of the complaints we get is because people cry when they come to your court. People just think you're a difficult person to work with. If someone is late by 5 minutes, it's not the end of the world. So there's no need to reprimand someone. Say, no, I will. It's 5 minutes. It's inexcusable. Just tell that person, it's not how I work in my court, sir, or a lady. It's not how I work. Please let's make sure that we follow the rules properly and we come on time. Are we clear? Because they are the same ones who then complain to us, yeah, that magistrate is impossible to work with. It can't be. Even when you don't like people, just try. Just try. Our personalities are different. Just try. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. I hope we meet again under very fast circumstances.
Thank you, Dr. Pierre. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful speech, and lecturer, you have lectured us a lot on everything, including the Constitution as well as our behavior. It is very much interesting what we have said, especially when it comes to the Constitution, the recognition of the laws that are applicable. You spoke about customary law and other common law and other laws that should also be treated equally. We can just only sensitize the magistrates that there is a traditional courts bill that is coming, which we must actually be aware of. It is already in Parliament. They are deliberating on it. There were certain challenges, but all challenges have been resolved. It might be passed before June or something like that. So the Act is clear on that. We have to give that impetus to it and help the traditional leaders to actually do what they are expected to do, because you will be the appealing court from the traditional. It's not what was previously suggested. So it is the law that is recognized by the Constitution, as he has just pointed out. Even now, there are certain sections under Black Administration Act which are still applicable. So you cannot dismiss inkosi, or traditionally when they come with the appeals and you say that no, that law is not applicable. That law is still applicable, is recognized by the Constitution, still applicable until it is repealed by the new Traditional Courts Bill. Even the provisions in the Traditional Code are there, that Section 12 and Section 20 are applicable. Section 12, it talks about civil jurisdiction, and 20, criminal jurisdiction of the traditional courts. So let us also be sensitized on that one, and we are very pleased that we are talking, the person who is in the Magistrates Committee who actually sees these things, so is actually talking to us. We're really pleased, and please don't hesitate as well. We know your tight schedule, but you have actually accommodated us. There is a token of appreciation that our senior magistrate, Ms. Nomvungo, would like to present to you. Thank you very much.
Can I take up this is for the slide?
May I introduce to you Dr. Mosheu? Dr. Homoleng Mosheu is currently the Chief Executive Officer of the South African Judicial Institute. Dr. Mosheu was responsible for the starting the operation of the Institute in November 2012. The Institute has delivered a number of training programs for judges and magistrates in South Africa. The Institute has extended its support to the African region with the aim of creating an enabling environment for continued training of the judiciary in South Africa. Dr. Mosheu has experience in project management spanning over 15 years. She has mainly served in capacities of starting new projects. Dr. Mosheu served as a managing director of a woman-owned South Africa company, Kensani Corrections Management, which partnered with an American company to participate in the first 2 private prisons in South Africa. Kensani's responsibility within the project was inmate program development and maintenance of the facility as such. Dr. Mosheu spearheaded the development of the inmate development program with support of the American company for the inmate at Kutama Simtumele Maximum Security Correctional Facility at Makedo. During her 5-year stint, Dr. Mosheu employed graduates without working experience who are now serving in the leadership position in the government and parastatals. Dr. Mosheu also served as a project director for the USAID-funded program for a period of 5 years. The program focused on strengthening criminal justice entities in South Africa, including the judiciary. The team that worked at the project were empowered through the pro bono training at education institutions like Gordon Institute. The training has empowered them to serve in leadership positions in their career. Dr. Mosheu is very passionate about capacity building and empowerment of others. Her vision is making a difference in the lives of youth in order for them to contribute positively to the lives of others in order to build a prosperous South Africa. We all know Dr. Mosheu. She has actually contributed a lot in SAGE, and I can just mention that even prior to that, we happened to be fortunate because we worked with her in this province. He was at Ntuzuma, partnered with, she was at Ntuzuma, partnered with USAID under the prosecution, and then she actually contributed a lot to the people at Ntuzuma She brought even the park homes for purposes of enhancement of the community court. It was at the time when the community courts were established. There was a lot of help that she rendered in getting the community together to make sure that that project succeeds. And it actually succeeded because we still have community courts, and Tuzuma is one of them, one of the community courts that are still operating and which is very successful. And we really thank him for all the contributions. And can I now call Dr. Mosheu?
It's been a while where someone reads about, and I'm listening to him, I'm saying, is this me? Molweni Dumelang. What is the local one, by the way? Sawubona. And others. I would like to start by thanking Mr. Ngubane for inviting us here and the leadership that works with him. And also thank you for participating in SAJAY programs, because without you, there's no institute. Please give yourself a round of applause. There's something that I call the SAJAY tribe, the facilitators that help us, that through Mr. Ngubane's permission, they are pulled out of court to assist us in making sure that training takes place. JP. The JP comes in, I need to say, not to say anything. Okay. I can see a few faces here of the SAJAY tribe. I've seen Charlotte there. She assisted us on cybercrime. I've seen Pumelele. I'm sad that she's going to regional. We might lose her because all the stars that assisted us to start the institute and helped us with facilitation, they are now at regional. I am unhappy about that. Mr. Van Rooyen, is he here? He sits in our editorial committee. Where are you? I tried to look around. I can't recognize him when I'm here, but you know, he serves in our editorial committee and is doing quite a good job. Thank you very much, Mr. Tlatswayo, Mr. Ngubane, and whoever, all others that I've forgotten to mention them. But the SAJAY tribe, the subscription is free. Please, if you are interested in training, contact us, me or Poso, or anyone in SAJAY, so that you can have the opportunity to attend the trainer courses, and we can take you through. No one is born a trainer. I was looking at this young man who's here. You know, the reason why every time he's referring to Dr. G is because we sit next to each other as a commission, and even we also serve together in the ethics committee, but I won't say anything about ethics like him. Our presentation is going to be quick so that I don't waste the JP's time. I know most of you are not familiar with the just to give you an overview of the institute. Also the type of programs that we offer, what we have achieved so far, the regional initiatives that we are conducting or planning to conduct, and the challenges that we have. But you know, KZN, I think you are doing very well in terms of training. When it comes to the overview, you all know that SAJAY as an institute has got an act. You can refer to that and then look at our responsibilities. I normally summarize them as 4 responsibilities. It's to make sure that training takes place on judicial education, conduct research that relates to judicial education. The other one that is very important that I'll talk to when I deal with the regional initiatives, it's about supporting foreign judicial education and courts. And I'll tell you how we support them. It's not that, you know, I always say, SAJAY, we don't have money, and indeed we don't. And also making sure that those that are appointed to the judiciary, they are trained accordingly. As we may be aware that we also now offer training for newly appointed senior magistrates. I was promised by the leadership of the district magistrates that we'll run another course for those that were appointed as senior magistrate and they never went through that week-long course, which I think it really helped those that attended. In terms of the governance of the institute, we have a council of about 24 members. The chairperson is the Chief Justice, and the Deputy Chairperson is the Deputy Chief Justice. We have 2 academics that are serving on the council, which are deans of law. We have 5 magistrates that are designated by the Magistrate Commission. And then we have judges that are also 5 judges, 2 JPs, as well as other senior judges from the Supreme Court of Appeal. We have a traditional leader. We have an attorney and an advocate. So it's this is equivalent to a board. So that is what the body that I'm accountable for, where I give reports. I don't know if anyone here needs my job. In terms of the governance, another governance structure is the committee structure. We have curriculum. We know our core is training, so curriculum committees plays a very important role within the institute. And we've got EXCO that is chaired by the Deputy Chief Justice, budget and finance, as well as human resources. Those are the names of the members of the. I forgot to mention the President of the Supreme Court of Appeal also serves at the council, and those are the names of the magistrates that are there, as well as a retired judge, Justice Brandt, who happens to be also a professor at the University of Free State. That's the name of the attorney, Mr. Mvundlela from Limpopo, and Professor Lubisi. It's not UKZN, that's a mistake. Previously, that was Professor Reddy from UKZN, was a member. Her tenure just ended in January. Now it's Professor Lubisi from University of Fort Hare, my alma mater that I like so much. We've got Professor Mpedi from UJ and Nkosi Ngonyama, the member of the National House. The membership there is according to the Act. You can just Google that, you'll find the Act. That is the team the administrative team at the Institute that is headed by myself. And we also have a team of judicial educators. They're doing a very excellent job. If I have to give you an idea, courses for the district magistrates in a year is more than 100. And they are working very hard. That is why at some stage we had to pull some of your colleagues from court to assist us in delivering these courses. We are hoping that at some stage, Magistrate Commission will listen to us and give us more positions. These are the types of programs that Sergeant delivers on substantive law, although we don't encourage a lot of training on substantive law because we have been trained by the likes of Mpia at the university. So when you get to us, it has to be practical. We cannot be reading X to you, you know how to read X, isn't it? So that's the kind of training that and then soft skills, we are referring to computer literacy, stress management, and some of you might have attended some of our courses. Aspirant programs. The Act requires Sergeant to train those that aspire to be judicial officers at all levels. So we have that course at district level, which the one at district level, we run it through 5 weekends. 4 weekends. The reason being, that course is attended by officials from legal aid. Some of them are academics and are interested to join you on the bench. If we run that course during the week, so that means they need to put in leave, and some of them those that are practicing acting, that means there's no income for them. So that is why they are run on Saturdays. And I would like to appeal. We ran a very successful one in Pietermaritzburg last year. I would like to appeal to experienced magistrates that are sitting here. Please assist us on that course. It's just one Saturday. One Saturday, that would be, 4 Saturdays in a month. That would be civil, the other one is criminal, family, and then children, just to give them an idea of what's happening. And also to prepare them that when they go for interviews at Magistrate Commission, they have an idea what they're talking about. So please, experienced magistrates, if you are interested to participate in that course as part of the trainers, please contact us. We'll really appreciate. And then you know that one of the popular courses is Aspirant Judges Program. For a person to participate there, there's application process, there's a team of JPs and judges of the SCA who constitute a team to select the candidates, interview them, and then they attend the course. And I can mention here that Pumelele is one of them. She made it at the interviews in December. The other responsibility of SAJE, like I said, is to support other institutions. So we are approached by institutions like military, the military, where they asked us to train their judges. Remember the military, they have their own court system, and they're even, so their concern was, the people that are appointed there are just attorneys, they get there, and there's no procedure, and and then there are cases there's an appeal process, etc., etc. So we are assisting them. We have assisted them to train them in the procedure and the judgment writing and record keeping and all that. Judicial skills to traditional leaders. In 2015, we were approached to assist the traditional leaders with judicial skills. As you know, as part of like what Mr. Pierre made an example that in Limpopo they sit under a tree. That happens on a daily basis. And the decisions that are taken there affect people's human rights, isn't it? So it's important for them to know the procedure and the laws that would inform that particular environment. And this course has successfully run in KZN. Mr. Sishi, Mr. Swasayo, and others outside Durban. I think we had about 3 to 4 workshops here. That's why I'm saying KZN, you are doing very well. Like the courses for last year that were planned, 8 of them, 5 have already taken place. The other one is coming up very soon, and the 2 I know we are going to get RSVPs from Durban, and we are very thankful for that. Now let's talk about regional initiatives. For SAGE to be able to successfully carry out its attend to its function of supporting foreign judicial institutions and courts, we can only do that if we partner with donor agencies and those that have money to do that. So we started a program on environmental law, integrating environmental law into judicial curricula, where with other heads of judicial institutions in Africa. That model that we use, we sat down and we say, how do we institutionalize environmental law into curricula? We had a working session, we had a trainer session, we then had what we call a framework on how to train on environmental law. And now in our countries, we then put teams together to come up with a general program on environmental law. Now, as far as we are concerned in South Africa, we are now moving to focusing on wildlife. That model that we tested here in South Africa, initiated by our institute, has been taken over to the world. It was formally launched in Mozambique at the first week of August, sharing with the other judicial education institutes in the world. Through the partnership with UN Environment. The UN Environment also have taken it to the prosecution and the police. That is why I've been to 2 or 3 countries where I went there to tell them how we started and how successful is this model. If there's anyone here who's got a passion in wildlife, because you do have wildlife challenges in the province. We will be moving into material development. I think in the next 2 months, we'll test the program and then we'll take it to other provinces. If there's anyone with that passion, please talk to Mr. Ngubani. We might be able to use your skills as far as developing that program. The knowledge, it's important also. When it comes to trafficking in persons, we had a colloquium here